Have you ever walked through life and noticed something strange about certain people? Have you ever noticed that the people who seem the most harmless are often the ones who are the quietest? And inside that quietness, sometimes there is something that feels wrong, something unsettling. We are taught from a young age to be afraid of the loud people. We fear the angry ones. We fear the people who shout and rage like big storms. When someone screams, you know they are angry. When someone throws things, you know they are dangerous. Storms are honest. They show you exactly what they are right away. You see the lightning, you hear the thunder, and you know to take cover. But the real danger, the kind that slips under the radar, doesn't come from the thunder. It comes from the silence. Because there is a certain type of person who does not feel the way you and I feel. Their emotional world is not like an ocean with waves and tides. It is like a desert. It is huge, it is still, and it is strangely empty. It is quiet. It doesn't move. It isn't affected by the things that affect you. It isn't their calmness that is scary. Being calm is usually a good thing. What is scary is what is missing underneath that calm. It is a silence that doesn't make you feel safe. It is a silence that feels like it could swallow you whole. We often imagine evil as something out of a movie. We think of a villain in a dark cape, a monster hiding under the bed, or a violent criminal snarling in the dark. We expect evil to be dramatic. We expect it to be obvious. But in real life, evil is almost never like a movie. It is rarely theatrical. Real evil or real danger is quiet. It is subtle. It is terribly polite. It wears nice shoes. It speaks in a calm, steady voice. It follows the rules when people are watching. And that is exactly what makes it so hard to see. That is why we let it into our lives. We think, oh, he's so quiet, he must be nice, or she's so calm, she must be wise. To understand what we call evil, you have to look past the mask. You have to stop looking at just the behavior on the surface and look at the psychology underneath. Because dangerous people aren't always acting out of hate. They aren't always trying to be mean. They are acting from a lack of something. They are acting from a profound absence in their human structure. They are missing pieces that the rest of us take for granted. If you want to understand the very first sign of a dangerous human being, you have to look for something that isn't there. You have to look for a curious absence. The absence of empathy. Now, I don't mean the polite kind of empathy. We all know how to act sad at a funeral. We all know how to say, I'm sorry, when someone drops their ice cream. That is social conditioning. That is just manners. I am talking about the deep, real ability to feel what another person is feeling inside. Most people have this gift. It's like a superpower we don't think about. When you see someone hurt, something inside you hurts a little bit too. When you see someone crying, your throat gets tight. When you see someone happy, you smile without thinking about it. It is like an invisible thread that connects all of us. It binds us together like one big tapestry. If I pull on the thread here, you feel it over there. But there are people who do not have this thread at all. They are cut off. They understand your pain, but only in the way a scientist understands a bug under a microscope. They can look at you crying and say, oh, tears are coming out of her eyes. She must be sad. They can describe the clouds of your storm, but they cannot feel the rain. They don't get wet. This absence doesn't announce itself with a megaphone. These people don't walk around wearing a sign that says, I don't care about you. In fact, this lack of feeling often hides behind a very calm face. Think about a crisis. Maybe there is a car accident, or a family emergency, or bad news at work. Most people will be shaking. They might cry. They might be confused and scared. But these individuals, they remain untouched. They stand there as if they are watching the whole thing through a thick piece of glass. They are calm. They are steady. And here is the trap. You might mistake this for strength. You might look at them and think, wow, they are so strong. They are so composed. They are wise. But it is not wisdom. Wisdom feels things and understands them. This is just distance. It is not composure. Composure is feeling scared but staying calm anyway. This is just emptiness. They are controlling their fear. They just don't have any. When someone cannot feel the suffering of others, they are free to do anything. Think about that. Empathy is like the brakes on a car. If you get angry and want to say something mean, empathy kicks in and says, "Wait, that will hurt their feelings." And you stop, or you soften your words. But a person without empathy has no brakes. They can move through the world very smoothly, very fast, but they leave crashes and damage behind them everywhere they go. And they don't look back. This is much more dangerous than a person who just gets angry. An angry person might scream, but they might also feel bad about it later. The person who feels nothing has nothing to hold them back. They have no guilt to slow their hand. They have no empathy to steer them in a different direction. They have no inner compass to say, "Stop." They move through life untouched by the delicate threads that connect human beings. And because they don't feel those threads, they can cut them without hesitating. There is, inside certain people, a strange silence where their conscience is supposed to be. Most of us have a little alarm system inside. It's a subtle tremor. It's a small inner bell that rings when we do something wrong. You know the feeling. You say something rude to a friend, and later that night you feel a little ache in your stomach. You feel a little tug that says, "Hey, that wasn't nice. You should apologize." It is the sensation of having disturbed the harmony of the world. It asks us to go back and fix things. It asks us to be better than just our selfish desires. But imagine a person for whom this bell never rings. It's not because they are a monster from a fairy tale. It's simply because the machine is broken. The mechanism is missing. For them, there is no guilt. There is no remorse. There is no inner pause before they cause harm. So they move through life without that friction. Friction slows us down, but it also keeps us on the road. Without it, they drift. They drift into a state where they can justify anything. They can rationalize everything. They act as if they are the center of the universe, and everyone else is just a satellite orbiting around them. When this lack of conscience shows up in daily life, it is very subtle at first. You might not notice it right away. You might notice that they have really good explanations for doing bad things. They craft elegant stories. "I had to do that because," or "It's not my fault, it's because." They do not feel the sting of doing something wrong. And because they don't feel it, they genuinely cannot understand why you are upset. They look at your anger or your sadness and they think you are being dramatic. They think you are overreacting. And in this absence of inner resistance, we find a scary truth. A person who feels no guilt can reshape reality to fit what they want. They can twist the world to suit their desires, and they will never notice the cost to other people. Conscience isn't just a list of rules from school or church. It isn't just commandments handed down by society. Conscience is the echo of empathy inside yourself. It is the internal tug that whispers, "You have caused harm. You must make this right." But if you don't feel the tremor of another person's suffering, then that echo never happens. There is no tug. There is no whisper. There is no hesitation. In a person like this, guilt is not a natural response. It is only an inconvenience. It is annoying to them that you are upset, not because you are hurt, but because now they have to deal with you. Remorse, feeling sorry for what you did, is a performance for them. They might say, "I'm sorry," but watch their eyes. Watch their body language. It feels like a script. It feels like they are acting in a play. Accountability, taking responsibility for your actions, is like a foreign language to them. They don't speak it. This is why they gaslight. You might have heard this term. It means trying to make someone doubt their own reality. They don't do this just to confuse you. They do it because the idea that they could be wrong is impossible to them. It is intolerable. Their brain cannot accept it. So if something is wrong, it must be your fault. It must be your memory that is bad. It must be your feelings that are crazy. Without the gentle restraint of a conscience, the line between having a relationship with someone and just using someone begins to blur. For most of us, other people are living mysteries. We meet them with wonder. We want to know them. But for these dangerous individuals, people are instruments. People are tools. You are a hammer to build their house. You are a shield to protect them. You are a mirror to admire them. They use people to get safety, admiration, money, comfort, or control. So they move through life not relating to people, but utilizing them. When you meet someone like this, you might feel a weird tension. It feels like they aren't really with you. It feels like they are calculating around you. Their eyes don't look for your soul. They search for your usefulness. What can this person do for me? Does this person have status? Can this person give me money? Will this person believe my lies? Your feelings, your dreams, and your secrets become variables in a math equation they are trying to solve for their own benefit. This is where charm comes into the picture. We usually think charm is a good thing. We think it means someone is warm and kind. But for these people, charm is not a quality of the heart. It is a technique. It is a learned skill, like riding a bike or playing chess. Some individuals become incredibly good at reading emotional cues, not because they feel deeply, but because they have learned that understanding how people react gives them power. What looks like emotional intelligence is actually just strategic observation. They study human behavior the way a general studies a map. They notice which facial expressions make people trust them. They notice which words open doors. They notice which gestures make people relax. They practice this. This masking becomes their survival strategy. And over time, it becomes their method of influence. Their charm is calculated. Their warmth is deliberate. Their attentiveness is structured. Their timing is precise. It is almost too perfect. You can see this in the way they start a new relationship. They move with extraordinary speed. They offer lots of praise. You're the best person I've ever met. We are soulmates. I've never felt this way before. They offer intensity and certainty, not because they actually feel it. Remember, their inner world is a quiet desert, but because they know it works. They know everyone wants to feel special. They know everyone wants to be loved. So they give you exactly what you want to see. Then there is the mirroring. This is an uncanny ability to reflect you back to yourself. They like the same music as you. They laugh at the same jokes. They share your worldview. They hate the same people you hate. It feels amazing at first. It feels like profound resonance. You think, at last, someone who understands me, someone who gets it. But what you are experiencing is not understanding. It is imitation. It is a mask shaped precisely to fit your expectations. They are holding up a mirror to you so you fall in love with your own reflection. This is emotional intelligence without the heart. It is a skillful performance of humanity that lacks the inner human core. And here is the hard truth. The mask always slips. It has to. No one can act forever. When the mask slips, you discover that the charm was never affection. It was strategy. The warmth was never love. It was a tool to get you to open the door. One of the most revealing qualities of a dangerous person is their relationship with the truth. All humans lie sometimes. We tell white lies to be polite. We lie to avoid getting in trouble. But for most of us, lying feels uncomfortable. It causes friction inside. For these individuals, there is an ease with dishonesty. It's effortless. It's as though the truth is just one option among many, rather than a rule they should follow. To them, a lie is not a moral event. It's not bad. It is simply a tool. It is like a hammer or a screwdriver. Need to fix a situation? Use a lie. Need to look better? Use a lie. Need to avoid trouble? Use a lie. Because they do not experience the internal friction of conscience, that little bell doesn't ring. Their relationship with truth becomes fluid. It is like water. It changes shape to fit the container. They do not lie just to deceive you in a dramatic way. They lie because it is efficient. It solves the moment. It maintains their image. You can often spot this pattern not by the lie itself, but by the speed with which the story changes. Pay attention. Details bend. Timelines get rearranged. You point out a contradiction. Wait, yesterday you said you were at the store, but now you say you were at home. Instead of pausing, instead of looking embarrassed, which is the natural reaction, they simply create a new version of events to fill the gap. Oh, I meant I went to the store after I was at home. They don't stumble. They just rewrite the script in real time. Beneath this fluid relationship with truth lies something even more revealing. It isn't an emotion. It isn't a belief. It is a drive. It is a gravity that pulls every one of their actions into the same orbit. There is another trait that separates ordinary difficult people, like a grumpy neighbor or a bossy friend, from truly dangerous ones. It is an underlying, persistent need for control. I don't mean control like a movie villain who wants to take over the world. I don't mean dominance in a loud, crude sense. I mean control as structure. I mean the quiet compulsion to be the organizer of every interaction. For these individuals, control is not a preference. It is their psychological baseline. It is how they survive. Remember, they lack empathy and conscience. That means inside, they are empty. To compensate for that internal emptiness, they need to manage the external environment perfectly. They need the outside world to be ordered exactly how they want it. So they begin to shape the dynamics around them. It is very subtle. They decide what is discussed in a conversation. They decide what gets ignored. They decide how things are interpreted. They decide what is denied. If you bring up a topic they don't like, they change the subject. If you express a feeling they don't want to deal with, they tell you you're being crazy. They are editing reality. You will see it in how they test boundaries. Watch for the probes. Early, small interruptions when you speak. Minor corrections about things that don't matter. Strategic withholding of affection or information. These are not accidents. They are tests. They are measuring you. They are seeing how easily your reality can be adjusted. They want to know, will this person let me be in charge? Will this person accept my version of events? A dangerous person cannot tolerate equality. Equality threatens their sense of authority. They can only function when they feel elevated, emotionally above you, intellectually above you, or morally above you. The moment you stop responding to their cues, the moment you say no or I disagree, they escalate. They don't usually escalate with chaos and screaming. They escalate with precision. They get colder. They get sharper. They withdraw. They punish you with silence. One of the clearest historical examples of this quiet form of danger can be found in a man who never raised his voice. He never appeared violent. He never looked like a monster. His name was Adolf Eichmann. He was a high-ranking official in the Nazi regime during World War II. He was responsible for organizing the logistics of the Holocaust, sending millions of people to their deaths. But Eichmann was not the stereotype of evil. He had no rage. He made no spectacle. He had no dramatic presence. He looked like a boring, ordinary man. He was orderly. He was polite. He was efficient. He looked like a well-trained clerk or a disciplined office manager. And yet, behind that ordinary exterior was something far more unsettling, a near-total absence of empathy and conscience. When he was put on trial after the war, Eichmann didn't express hatred for the Jewish people. He didn't shout ideological slogans. He barely expressed any emotion at all. He simply described his role as one would describe a series of office tasks: paperwork, logistics, train schedules, coordination, numbers. The human suffering, the pain, the death, the horror was not denied by him. It was simply irrelevant. It was a detail, a footnote. The emotional meaning of the pain he helped cause never seemed to register in his brain. And that is what makes him such a crucial example for us to understand. Eichmann did not commit atrocities because he was consumed by a burning passion or driven by personal rage. He committed them because nothing inside him resisted. There was no empathy to interrupt the process. There was no conscience to create tension or guilt. There was no inner life deep enough to confront what he was doing. A famous philosopher named Hannah Arendt watched his trial. She coined a phrase, the banality of evil. Banality means something is boring, ordinary, unoriginal. She meant that great harm can be carried out not by monsters with horns, but by empty men who simply follow the path of least resistance. Men who just want to do their job and don't feel anything about the consequences. This is the kind of danger most people fail to recognize. We look for the monster. We look for the screaming maniac. We miss the man who feels nothing. If we are to speak honestly about dangerous individuals, we must make a crucial distinction. We need to be careful so we don't get paranoid. Not every person who appears cold and silent is a threat. Some people are just shy. Some people are traumatized. Some people are autistic or socially awkward. But a dangerous person behaves differently. A traumatized person may seem distant, but they do not study your reactions like data points to use against you. They are usually trying to protect themselves, not control you. A socially awkward person might say the wrong thing, but they don't adjust their facial expressions like tools to manipulate you. They are usually trying to connect, but failing. A dangerous person weaponizes ambiguity. They use silence to make you uncomfortable. They use confusion to keep you off balance. The point is not to fear every quiet individual. The point is to recognize when silence is a signal rather than just a symptom of shyness. Wisdom lies in noticing the difference between detachment that serves survival, trauma, and detachment that serves control, danger. After seeing the structure of a dangerous mind, after understanding that some people just don't feel empathy, what do? When understanding is no longer enough, you must turn inward. You must recognize a simple truth. Your inner world is your only real possession. Everything else can be borrowed. Money can be lost. Relationships can end. Jobs can change. But your clarity, your mind, that is yours to protect. Now, protection is often misunderstood. People think it means building huge walls. They think it means living in fear and suspicion of everyone. But self-protection is far more subtle than that. It is simply the ability to step back. It is the ability to step away from anything that disturbs the natural order of your mind. When a person's presence bends your sense of reality, pay attention. When someone pulls you into confusion, step back. When someone invites you to act out of character, stop. It is not noble to endure this treatment. It is not nice to let someone manipulate you. It is foolish. Wisdom is the art of maintaining your inner balance in a world that constantly tries to pull you off center. So, if you find that someone operates without empathy, without conscience, or without any sense of responsibility for the impact of their actions, what is the appropriate response? It is not revenge. It is not punishment. It is not trying to fix them. You cannot fix a missing conscience. The appropriate response is distance. Simply space. A quiet reclaiming of your own perspective. A person who feels nothing can take everything from you. They will take your time, your energy, your love, and your sanity, and they will feel zero guilt about it. So you must detach. Detach from anyone who is detached from your pain. Detach from anyone who does not respect your time. Detach from anyone who does not honor your humanity. Protect the integrity of your heart. Do this not out of fear, but out of respect for yourself. Because your heart is a treasure. It is meant to be honored. But some people see the heart not as a treasure, but as a tool to use. Don't let them use yours. When you place all these tendencies side by side, the lack of empathy, the missing conscience, the calculated charm, the fluid truth, the need for control, you begin to see the big picture. What we call evil is not a dramatic force at all. It is a kind of psychological vacancy. It is an emptiness where awareness ought to live. It isn't darkness in the mythological sense. It is a deficiency. It is a broken part of the human machine that fails to recognize itself and others. This absence produces a very particular kind of human being, clever, persuasive, outwardly composed, yet hollow at the center. They are not plotting destruction like a cartoon villain. They cause destruction because they lack the inner reference point that would prevent it. They are like a car without a driver, rolling down a hill. It will crush whatever is in its path, not because it hates the flowers, but because it has no way to stop. Once you understand this, the question is no longer how to judge such people. The question is how to stay awake around them. For danger arises not just from their presence, but from the moment you allow their confusion to become your confusion. The moment you start doubting your own reality because of them, you are in danger. The wise response is remarkably simple. Step back into your own clarity. Trust your gut. If a person cannot feel the consequences of their behavior, they are capable of almost anything. Not necessarily out of wickedness, but out of unconsciousness. And unconsciousness is far more dangerous than malice, because it does not recognize itself. It doesn't know it's doing wrong. In the end, the task is not to harden yourself and become cold like them. The task is to remain lucid, to remain clear-headed, to see clearly what is in front of you. And when clarity demands it, when you see the mask slip, have the courage to walk away.